This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again after a rainy night. I don't know about you guys, but around 4:30ish or so, we had some major storms come in. I think most of the Chicagoland area had issues, but I'm riding the neighborhoods now just to see if there's any downed trees or anything. Yeah, it's interesting. I walked outside, I saw how dark it was. I walked outside to see what it looked like, and I could feel all of a sudden the temperature went from hot to cold really fast. Well, it wasn't cold, but you know what I'm saying. It dropped dramatically. And so about a minute later, you could see the winds kick up, and then about a minute later, it just downpoured. Yeah, it just kept coming down. Now, throughout the night, we've been having a little here, a little there, but during that early part of the rain, I would say 4:15, 4:30ish, something like that, last afternoon, it was really coming down. So what am I riding today? Take a look at this one. You know what that is? It's got a basket in the front. It's got a mirror on the side. It's got a suspension seat post. It's got a curved back handlebar. What is this? This is the replacement of the City Robin 3. Yeah, I mentioned to you guys before that the owner of Euphree sent this one to me. He says, get rid of the other one. Well, actually, he didn't say get rid of the other one. What he said was, hang on to it. We're going to pick it up or do something with it. Don't sell it. Yeah, he gave me the prototype. Remember that? It happened after the dealer show in February. Yeah, they dropped it off to me. Came out to my place, dropped it off. And then he made some modifications to the bike. He says, don't sell that bike. He says, let me send you another. I go, why? He goes, well, we made some slight improvements to it before the production models came out. And he wanted me to have the actual one that everyone will be riding. So there you go. So this is it. So do I notice any differences? Well, I will tell you this. It's got a new pedal. That was the first thing I noticed. Brand new pedal. Yeah, the pedal is not like you think it would be. You know, most of the pedals today have like little spiky things on there. Yeah, so that your shoe doesn't slip off of it, right? Kind of digs into your athletic shoes. Well, they don't have that anymore on this one. It's kind of rough textured, like sandpaper. I don't know how else to call it. Yeah, it's got like really, I don't know what you call it for scuffing. I don't have no idea what you would call it. Yeah, it's got a lot of that, whatever you want to call that. And so, yeah, we'll stop here. Yeah, let all these cars go by. Okay, let's go. So yeah, it's a different pedal. It's so that your feet don't slip off of it. I think it works pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'm trying this out, and I like that part of it. Yeah. Any other changes? I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, take a look at the review. I'll leave it up to the original review, but has it changed since the original review? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it has or it hasn't. Feels pretty much the same to me, but you know, he's kind of very picky on how the bikes come out, so I'm sure there's something about it that he feels needed to be updated, and that's what he did before the production units come out. So the one I'm riding now is a production unit. Now, if you see in the front, I put on the optional front basket and also the liner on here, which actually helps out a lot. You know, you have things in the basket. The baskets, of course, you know, they're metal baskets and they're holes, right? Well, the liner keeps everything from falling out. So yeah, you definitely want a liner with it. I don't know, does he include that with it? I have no idea. Take a look at the website. Take a look at the website, see if he gives it or whether it's an extra option, but I would put the liner in there. Yeah, you know what? I forgot my water bottle. I have the water bottle bag on here as well. Left it at home. How do you like that? Let's take a Let's take a right here. Yeah, oh, nice area on this side. Take a look at this side. Angle the camera a little bit for you guys there. See that? Yeah, I like water. Although I think these are retention ponds that we're seeing over on the left-hand side there. I don't think there's any fish or anything in there, is there? That's a pretty big retention pond, if that's a retention pond. What is this thing? This thing's huge. It keeps going. Guy's cutting grass over there. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what that is. So, yeah. Now you might be noticing that I'm riding around in a new area. Yeah, I mentioned that I would take the bike out to areas we haven't been to before. That's what we're doing now. I have no idea where I'm going. I just figure the best thing is to get out, see some new areas, and see if it's areas we want to ride at. Yeah, so everything here is new to me as well. It's new to you, it's new to me. Let's just keep going here. Oh, I see there's like a little bridge thing here. Let me show you here. Take a look off to the left side. There's like a little bridge. There's like a water thing down here. There's a little bridge. I think that just brings you around, brings you back to the main area here. I keep going here. The guy's got a stop sign, so we're in the right to go, but you still want to double check, make sure they don't run you over. Yeah, we're going real easy today. I don't want to go fast. I want to visit the neighborhoods. I want to see what this area looks like, and see if it's something we would do more often. I think for something like this, what I'm doing, just kind of cruising the area, City Robin 3 is the perfect bike for it. I mean, you've got the swept back handlebars keeps your back straight. I mean, literally straight up and down. I mean, if you think about it in terms of racing, you don't want to do that. You got wind resistance, right? You don't want to do that. But we're not racing. We're just taking it easy. So around the town, this would be the bike of choice. Yep. Put a front basket on it. You could put a rear basket too. I'm still waiting for the rear baskets from them. I don't know if they'll send me one or not, but I'll put a request for it. The rear basket is the MIK system. Some people call it the MIK system. I call it the MIK. I figure it's all capital letters. It must mean something. Yeah, let's turn here. We'll swing back around the other way. I want to go down the other side. All right, nobody here, so let's go here. So yeah, I'm still awaiting a rear basket for this bike. You don't need both, really, but you know, if you want to. I had a rear basket before, as you know, on my other Euphree bikes, but they changed the mounting system and they went to the MIK system, so those baskets don't fit it. So I think what I will do is whoever buys the Stellar Falcon, the original Stellar Falcon that I have up on the russisright.com website, the red one, remember that one? I think I'll just give them that basket. What do you think? Yeah, I can't use it because the new bikes have the new MIK setup. So yeah, I will just give it away. Yeah, we'll give it to the person who buys that bike. Little promo. So yeah, bikes are selling. Just to let you know, 3 of them went out 2 days ago. Yep, 3 of them are gone. There's 2 more that a past customer, I should call them customers because they're buying bikes from me, had purchased a bike before. He's looking at 2 other ones. So he hasn't made the final decision, but you know, I gave them my recommendation, which is the best bikes for them at this point. It's going to be for their son and his girlfriend. So they're thinking it over. Well, by the time you see this video, maybe they would have bought it. Who knows? I don't know when this video will come out. All right, back where we started here. Let's keep going down this way. Let's see what's down here. Oh, okay. Let's take a left over here. The guy's still cutting the grass. This must be a park or something. Yeah, it's a park. There's a soccer field there. I see kids slides off to the left side. I know it's hard for you to see the the wide angle on these action cameras that we use. They're too far away looking when you're doing it. They're good for this stuff. When you're riding your bike and you just want to see the overall view of what's going on. They're good for that. But if a little bit off in the distance, they seem real far away, but they're really not to me. I can see everything, but you can't. So, yeah, this bike ride's pretty good. Let's pedal a little bit. I've been throttling this whole time. Let's pedal a little bit here. Yeah, very smooth pedaling. I know that from the interview I did with Daniel, the owner of Euphree, back in February, he said that they changed the positioning of where the pedals are and everything, so it's easier to pedal. And yeah, it is definitely easier. Yeah, they changed the angle of the head stem, right? The handlebar stem. You have an adjustable handlebar here too. I don't know. Let me angle down a little bit. This thing is adjustable, and then you can put. Oh, it says cul-de-sac. I have to turn around. This thing here, if you have one of their optional cell phone cases, you can clip the cell phone case directly onto the handlebar stem, so you don't need a cell phone mount. I have my cell phone in my pocket right now, and the reason for that is because sometimes text messages come in and I can't let you see those. So yeah, let's go this way. So rather than having to blur it all the time, which takes me forever to do, I just took it off. I'm gonna need it later just to get back home. I'm not familiar with the area that I'm at, and I need it for GPS, right? I have my cell phone, my watch. My watch has a compass function. Let me see if, yeah, the compass will tell me what direction I'm going, but I'm gonna need turn-by-turn directions. As you know, I'm not very good in directions. I get lost real easy. So I'll use my GPS to do that. Well, I'm just cruising this area too. I wanted to see if there's anything that got pushed down as far as tree limbs or anything. I seen a couple, but very small. I'll tell you, when that thing went off yesterday, it was like crazy. Let's get past here. You see all this water? That's all standing water there. Right in front of the park. Oh, I'm in a school area. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's turn around. Oh, wait, let's see, what else do they got? Oh, they got a walking path. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. Let's get out of the school area. I didn't know that's what it was bringing me to. Well, you know, you live and learn. Live and learn. Okay, we don't go down that area. Okay, well, let's go further here. Let's go this way. Anyways, I heard back from a number of you guys from the last video that I did that had the really long ride. Remember that one? It's over an hour, I think. Yeah, I didn't know whether I was going to make it back because of battery. Yeah, I made it back. Barely. I think it was down to 18% and then eventually dropped down to 16% left of the battery. So yeah, we were pushing that thing. All right, we're heading back to this direction. Let's go the opposite direction there. So, yeah, I made it back, just barely made it back, and I said, well, that's the thing. You gotta know exactly how much battery power will bring you how far. I kind of knew it was going to be pushing it to be very close, but yeah, I didn't think it was going to get that close. Let's lower my pedal assist here. I'm going a little bit faster than I want. I'm going really slow because I'm trying to enjoy the area too, get an idea of what things look like. If you go too fast, you kind of miss things, right? I mean, this is not something I can do in the car. If I'm in a car, I'm just driving and I'm looking at traffic. I'm not looking around. And the bike, I tend to look at everything. I look left, I look right. I got speed bumps here. Gotta be careful. I look left, I look right. So I look all over just to see what's in the area. I always look at the houses too. I don't know, do you do that on my videos? I do that. I look at houses. Okay, let's go this way, see what happens. It's 7:45 in the morning. It's pretty early right now. It's pretty early. What's this bike capable of doing? Let's crank up the power here a little bit. Oh yeah. Slow down a bit here. I was doing about 25 and a half. Yeah, so we have this one's unlocked to class 3 right now. Yeah, it doesn't ship that way. Usually, most of these bikes will ship class 2. I think I did that when I was building the bike. I was reprogramming stuff inside the display screen. And another playground area here. What else is there? What else do we got? Yeah, more retention ponds. This area has a lot. This one looks like a major street. What is it? Don't know. Don't know, but we're crossing it. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. When you go exploring, you don't know what there is. You know, there's a car with okay, that's a Corvette. I can tell. It's covered, but I can tell it's a Corvette. You can tell from the shape of the back end. Covered car. Well, he must have extra cars because he's got a garage. He's not in the garage. Covered it outside. Yeah, so anyways, let me know in the comments, do you do what I'm doing right now? Do you go exploring like this, just going into different areas to see what's around? Cell phone use prohibited, it said. Okay. And I don't want you texting and driving. This, I guess, is a school area. Keep kids alive, drive 25. I'm doing 15. I'm doing 15. What do you do? Yeah, before going into certain areas, I will always usually call the local police department and find out what regulations they have. And there's no regulations for me here. The only thing that they said is what everyone else has been saying. Stay under 20 miles per hour, use a class 2 bike. Well, okay, sorry. And then ride safely, make sure you're of age, make sure you have operable pedals. Well, we have all that, except I unlock this a little bit faster. I do that because if I'm going on a major road or something like that, I want to be able to compete a little bit to keep myself safe. That's a decision you have to make yourself, you know. But if you want to be exactly by the law, you put this at 20 miles per hour, put it on class 2. Those are personal decisions people have to make. So anyways, let me talk about the mirror on this Euphree bike. Now, I could have put an X-Needle mirror right here on this side. Let me angle down so you know what I'm talking about. Stick it way out here. But I have the Euphree mirror, so I figured, well, let me try theirs. It does work on the curved back handlebar, but it is further behind than I'm used to. I'm used to looking straight on, and there's my mirror. So it's a little bit further back here. Can you guys see that? All right, I'm not going to cross that street here. Let's go this way. That's a major street, I can tell. Got trucks on it. It's a major street. So yeah, I think I need to tighten down my seat post a little bit. I'll show you a bike too at the same time. Let's put down the kickstand here. Let's go off to the side here. So I think my seat post, I don't know if you can see here, needs to be a little bit tighter, and I'm going just a little bit higher. Here's the minimum requirement. You can't go too far higher, otherwise you run out of. So you gotta go where they say it goes. But I felt it slipping a little bit on me, so which means I don't have it on tight enough. You gotta make little adjustments, right? Here, let me show you the bike here. I'll go on this side. So that's what it looks like. It's a nice looking bike. Yep. Here's the front basket I put on. There's the new headlights that they have. Here's the mirror. You guys see that? Yeah, so the rear takes the MIK type baskets now, but I don't have one, so I didn't put it on there. You got the suspension seat post from SR Suntour. This is the NCX seat post that we're all familiar with. Batteries integrated into the down tube, swept back handlebars. Okay, let's get moving. Yeah, you've got to adjust your bike every now and then, especially when it's brand new. You don't know what the setup feels like until you've ridden it a little bit. As I mentioned before, at least for me, they have a very low entry point for the step through, but that of course means that seat post height is affected too. If you're shorter than me, you probably won't have any issue. I like a very, very long leg extension, as you know, when I'm pedaling. So I'm just there, but not quite there. I think if my seat post was maybe 2 inches higher, I would be better. But it's not. So you got an option then, right? Let's turn here. You got an option. You could either change out the seat post with a seat post height that fits you, but the problem is you'd lose the suspension seat post doing that. And of course you've paid for that because it's part of the bike, or you live with it. So right now we're living with it. I don't think SR Suntour has a longer seat post than what they have. So it is what it is. Not my ideal. Not my ideal. They have a speed bump here too, so let me slow down a little bit. So yeah, it's got to deal with it. Now the pavement is still a little bit wet. We can hear it, we can see it. I still decided to take it. We do have fenders, so it's keeping the splash off of me. If we didn't have fenders, I'll tell you, even this little bit would be splattering up on me, which I don't like. The bike probably will get a little bit of water on it, but I can wipe that down. All right. Right? I'm guessing. I can't remember which way I've gone or not gone. Yeah, it's just an experiment of seeing different areas. You know, that's the key. We're not going fast. We're averaging about 15 miles an hour. It's kind of funny because, you know, even on a standard e-bike, 15 miles an hour is actually going fairly quickly. But on an e-bike, it feels like you're dragging. At least for me. I remember when I first got my first e-bike, I always said that, you know, will I go faster than 15 to 20 miles an hour? And of course I do. But back then, you know, when you're new to it, you go, wow, that's really fast. And it doesn't feel fast anymore. It feels kind of slow to me now. Yeah, some nice places out here. More water. Did we pass this? I don't know. Here, let me let you see that. Can I see that? I don't know. Sometimes I can't angle the camera well enough for you to see everything. Let's go down this way. The Euphree bike in general now, motor noise is very low. He said the maximum motor noise is like 60 dB, which is very low amount. Oh, they have sprinklers going on here. It's in the center section of this road. Yeah, it kind of looks misty, right? Yeah, I can see the mist coming off. Yeah, cooling me down. Yeah, probably landed on the camera lens. Sorry about that if you see that. let me look. Yeah, it should be okay. All right. Well, I see that big major street again. Which way should we go? Let's go this way. Don't know. I have no idea. Let's just go. So what else has been happening? Well, I've been very busy this week and next week doing some odds and end things for family and the like. And so I am not readily available to do stuff for other people. I have to adjust my schedule here and there just to make things happen now. But things that need to be done are being done, let's say that. But it's taken me away from other things. So I took my bike with me and said, let me ride the areas. Yeah. So this is all new. Like I said, it's all new to me. Let's ride the areas, see what it looks like. You know, if you're able to take a bike out and you're in areas you're unfamiliar with, as long as you got the GPS to get you back, yeah, you can go exploring. You know, what I do is, you know, I use the Apple Maps on my iPhone. I just put it on riding directions for bikes. So what it'll do is it'll try to pick streets that are not heavily trafficked. It's hard to say. That doesn't have a lot of traffic. There you go. You always choose other words, right? They keep you safe. You know, you don't want to be going on major roads. I mean, sometimes I could just see the major road. I can see trucks and stuff going down there. Come on, that's not a side street. And as you know, I prefer to ride the side streets as much as I can. It does add some time to your ride, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you have a fully charged battery and you're not going extremely too far, you should have no issue. Now, if you're worried about it, you can always buy a second battery and strap it to the rear rack. Yeah, I've done that before. I even have what do you call that? A toolbox. It's made by Plano, Plano. I got it on Amazon. I made sure that the toolbox was long enough that it'll handle any battery that I get from different bike manufacturers. And then I just put the extra battery in the back inside the Plano toolbox, strap that to the rear rack. Then if I run out of battery on one, take out that battery, put a yellow battery in there, and continue on. That's an option. People have asked me recently, is there any batteries that'll fit all bikes? No. No, because all the companies seem to have their own proprietary battery. So, another dead end here. This is a cul-de-sac. Let's swing around. So, yeah, you can't do that. What'll end up happening is you have to find the same battery for the bike. Now, the one time, what I did is when I had my very first e-bike, I bought the Rad Rover 5. Now, let me tell you why I bought that one. It was a step-over bike, which means it has a triangle from the top tube to the down tube to the seat post, right? It creates a triangle there. And I knew that if I wanted to get a secondary battery, I could probably put one of those triangle batteries right in there, but I had to rewire the bike in order for it to work. So what I did is I took the wiring of the Rad Rover 5, put on, I think they're called XT90s. Is that called XT90s? XT60s? 60s are the smaller and the 90s are the bigger ones. I put the 90s, whatever it is, whatever the letters happen to be. I think it's XT. Well, anyways, it's a connector. So I cut their cable, put the connector on there, so then if I rode with their battery on their battery cradle, it would work. And then if I switched over to the other battery, I would just disconnect the connector to the battery there and connect up the triangle battery onto it. So if you do something like that, then you can buy any of the batteries, and as long as your connectors are the same, and as long as your voltages and all that stuff is the same, you can do it. Yeah. Since then, I have not done that. Going forward, what I've been doing is just asking manufacturers for secondary batteries if I think I was going to take that bike and go further. And most of the manufacturers have been accommodating because they know that if they gave me the battery and I took the bike out, it's just another video that highlights their bike, so they're willing to give me the battery for it. Here's an interesting thing, since we're bringing this up. I had a recent comment on one of my videos asking me how I got involved with getting bikes, and I guess he wanted to review bikes as well. And I told him, I says, well, you know, that was just a fluke thing. I didn't go out actually looking to become a reviewer. I bought the bike initially to help me out for my knee. You know, I figured I'd get the exercise with my knee, pedaling the bikes, and so I bought my first e-bike for that purpose. I started recording my rides, and this is around the pandemic time period, right? E-bikes were kind of even hard to get because everyone was buying bikes, and it was kind of in the infancy stage of e-bikes in the United States, although, you know, they've been around, but, you know, it just started to get more popular because people wanted to buy bikes during the pandemic time period. I bought it not because of that. I bought it because I wanted to help my knee. So I was recording my rides as I'm talking about my knee and all that stuff, because it was a knee replacement channel for 2 years. As you might know, I had a lot of issues with my knee replacement. And so the bike companies started to notice my bike rides, and so one of the companies asked me if I would be interested in reviewing the bike, and I was really not that interested in doing it. I was going to turn them down. But then one of our viewers, John, says, well, you might as well do it. He said, they're going to send you the bike, and then if you like it, you keep doing it. If you don't like it, don't do it anymore. So I said, okay. So I took in that first bike. That was the Magicycle bike, yeah, Magicycle Cruiser. And then I think Himiway was the second company that contacted me, asked me to review their EP2. And since then, I reviewed their EP2 2.0, 3.0, right? So anyway, and other Himiway bikes as well. All right, let's go this way. And so one by one, it just started coming in. But what I told him on the comment, I says, well, first off, you need to have a following of people. I had already had a following. I was already monetized from YouTube because of the knee replacement videos. But you have to have a following already. You can't be a brand new YouTuber and then expect them to send you bikes to review. It's not going to happen. Because it's got to be worth it to the companies that send you the bike, that they know, oh, enough people are going to see this video that it's worth it for us to get his review. Plus, I think a lot of them too want to see how you've been doing with e-bikes first. So you got to be riding for a while before they'll even consider sending you something. They got to see some history of you riding an e-bike and how you present. So there's a lot of factors involved as to whether, let's turn here, whether companies will send you bikes to review. Now for myself, I've really never gone out and tried to find companies to give me a bike. I think 1 or 2 times in the early stages I asked for a bike, but then they never gave it to me. And then ever since from that point, I said, forget it. I'm just going to review whatever comes my way. If it doesn't come my way, I'm not reviewing it. So I just wait for the companies to send it to me. Yeah, I wait for their requests to ask if I want to review their bike, and then I'll either say yes or no, or just ignore it altogether, which I do a lot. And we're up to, I think, when I looked at the last time, over 185, 86, something like that, companies that I've actually either turned down or refused to answer. Because a lot of the companies are, I don't know, they're to me, they're not legitimate companies. So, well, they're legitimate, I guess, but they're not going to be long-term companies. And I'm sure many of them have already gone away already, as you know. So I will usually review, okay, let's go this way. I will usually review bikes that either I've heard of before, have some type of reputation or something in a website that I can check to see if I think they might be legitimate, and if their technologies look good, or if there's some value to the viewer, then I'll review those bikes. And then the others that are offered that seem to be just like everybody else's bike, or really there's nothing about their company that stands them out, I'll just reject. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's nice to be, well, I can't go that way, that's the major street, we gotta go this way. It's nice to be in the position where you can kind of pick and choose, right? But that doesn't happen right away, and I've been reviewing bikes over 5 years now. So yeah, it takes time. But also for myself, I had been riding bikes pretty much ever since I was a little kid. I only stopped riding because my knees hurt. When my knees hurt, that was when I hung it up. I just said, that's it. And I took my mountain bike that I bought, and wasn't that old either, it was a pretty new mountain bike. I hung it up in the garage. I kept looking at it for years and years and years, and said, one day I'm gonna get back on the bike. Yeah, I never got back on the bike. I never got back on the bike. And then I got the knee replacement, and that was 2 more years. Yeah, it was worse and worse. That was terrible. That's when I finally asked Mrs. Wright, can I just buy an e-bike? And she really didn't want me to do it because they're expensive. They're not cheap, right? And so let's go this way. And so she says, you already got a bike. I go, yeah, but I might not be able to make it back. I might pedal a certain distance, and then I said, I'm too tired. My knees hurt. I can't get back. So she says, okay, go ahead and go buy one. So that's when I bought my first e-bike. I mean, interestingly enough, when I was out in Arizona, I met all the other YouTubers and everything. They had similar stories in the sense that a lot of them didn't start out wanting to be an e-bike reviewer. They were just starting channels for whatever reason. You know, my reasoning was different than theirs, but kind of they all had, you know, some backstory that had nothing to do with e-bikes, and they just kind of stumbled onto it. And so where you think you're unique in the sense of starting in this venture of reviewing e-bikes, you're not. They have the same stuff. They kind of ran into it as well. Now there's so many people on e-bikes, people starting channels, that it's kind of flooded the market. So to get people to watch you is kind of hard now, because they have lots of choices, right? They can watch a whole bunch of different people now. But again, I'm one of the guys that started out early when the e-bike craze just started to happen in the United States. And so I'm one of the OGs almost. I'm one of the guys that have been around. I was watching, who was I watching back then? I was watching guys like Citizen Cycle, and I don't know, was I watching e-bike Escape at that time too? I don't know. I met Ryan from e-bike Escape in Arizona as well. I mean, a lot of these guys, you see them. I was watching Area 13, which at that time was known as Bolton e-bikes, remember? Yeah, you're longtime guys, you guys remember. And Bolton e-bikes had to change their name to Area 13, which has a logo that has kind of similar to the Bolt from the Bolton e-bikes. Yeah, they had to change the name because of, I don't know, some type of infringement of name or something like that. There's another company that's called Bolton something or other. It really had nothing to do with e-bikes, but to avoid issues, they changed their company name. So yeah, I met them out in Arizona too. In fact, Area 13 gave me one of the Bolton e-bikes to review. Yeah, he told me at that time that I was the first influencer that he actually gave a bike to. That was the Blackbird, yeah. So yeah, so we finally got to meet out in Arizona years later. So yeah, so that's the story. That's the thing. You have to have a following. You have to have a certain quantity of subscribers already, and that takes time. You know, unless you're popular right off the bat, it could take you a year or two even just to get 1,000 subscribers. And that's the thing with YouTube. You need at least 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 viewing hours before you become monetized. And once you become monetized, that's when companies will start taking some note. But really, 1,000 subscribers is probably not enough. You know, I mean, these bikes are not cheap, so they're gonna look at the guys that have, you know, more subscribers than 1,000 subscribers. But I've seen some where, yeah, they've given bikes to people who don't have that many subscribers either, but they feel that, you know, it's worth it. And some of the companies will give bikes even to people who are not e-bike channels. Yeah, maybe they're an outdoor channel, or they go fishing, or whatever it is that they do. They said, well, you know, they have people who look, maybe they'd be interested in e-bikes too, so they'll give a bike to them. But they're, of course, not dedicated e-bike channels. Those are just like, or RVers used to get a lot of e-bikes sent to them, people who had RVs, because people would buy an e-bike, especially the folding e-bikes, put it in their RV and take it wherever they're going. So, yeah, you don't actually have to be an e-bike channel to get e-bikes, but obviously if you were an e-bike channel, you have a better chance. So, all right, that's about all I have for you guys for today. I just wanted to take you along with me on this maiden voyage of the replacement Euphree City Robin 3. Yeah, it feels kind of like exactly like the other City Robin that he gave me, so I have no idea what he did to it. But obviously there must be something to it that stands it out. This road's all wet because it's all covered with the trees, and so it's not drying up as quickly as some other roads. I can hear it. I can see it on the road too. All right, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Keep me going. If you're interested in something like the City Robin 3, use the affiliate link that's in the description of the videos. That does help me out because we do get a slight commission if you buy the bike through that. And sometimes there's discount codes in there for you. Yeah, always check my descriptions before you buy any bike. See if I have a link to something there. That helps our channel out. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of a commission, but it also lets the companies know that you're watching the videos that I'm producing here. All right, that's all I got for you guys. We'll do more of these type of rides in the future. Talk to you guys next time.